and then I'll let you respond, Ms. Martin.
It is clear that what has taken place here is a whole bunch of maneuvering and disingenuous statements to ensure that waste management gets a contract. That is clear. When you talk about affordability, the RFP results showed that Richards was the lowest bidder. They won the bid. That's a fact. You can shake your head, but it's a fact. The bottom line here is maybe you're not trying to fight the mayor, but you are trying to subvert the process of bidding. The procurement process itself, which we have followed, which you have received legal advice regarding that. So I don't know any other way to see this. You voted not to continue the emergency, and then when you realized that that wouldn't get you your way, get you what you want, which is to have waste management there, then you did another amendment. And then you figured out that amendment wouldn't work, and then you came back, and I don't know who gave you legal advice, Banks, but then you started going through the document, making changes. No, Councilwoman Lindsay. They have impugned the reputation of our city attorney by implying that she is not qualified to make these decisions. They have acted as if when the city of Jackson goes to court, she's not qualified to make the determination. They have done all kinds of things, and they have not been checked.
We call on the question, Madam President.
Well, Dr. Omori, I would like to add that we entered into an agreement with a third-party attorney to try to resolve some of these issues, and it was determined, colleagues, that there was no conflict. And so in that regard, I would like to say that we did do our part, I think, to at least try to get the right answers and the correct information. And I think that we did just pass an order that stated that there was no conflict and we no longer needed a third-party attorney. So I would like to say that there has been some effort in that regard. And I certainly don't think it was the intention of the city council to damage the reputation of the attorney.
I respectfully disagree, Councilwoman Lindsay. Not all council members, but clearly it's some old statement. If you know the facts, you argue the facts. If you know something else, you argue that. And if you don't have that, you just argue. And that's what this council has been doing the entire time regarding this procurement process, where by their own admission, they have been given more. Don't interrupt me, Councilman Stokes.
I got to.
You have been given more.
Wait. Okay.
I'm a councilman. Nobody elected you
in this process
I am
than
a
anyone else.
councilman. Nobody elected you to shit.
Stop it. Enough. We are not going
Call
to
the
do
question.
this. All right, Mr. Stokes has called the question, but let me just tell you.
And see, that's the kind of disrespect that
You talking to
this
council members like we
this
bored.
council person
Wait a minute.
has
Wait.
for the
Right, you
law
already elected
in
you be
general.
discussing.
Stop, please, y'all. This is not good for our city. This is not good for anybody.
Call the
This meeting
question, Madam
is out of control. I hear you, Mr. Stokes, but Mr. Hartley has had his hand raised for a very long time. I'm going to ask you, Mr.
I would like to
Stokes.
respond to Councilman Banks.
I also, Mr. Hartley, want to ask
Madam
you,
President, let's call the
unless
question.
there is something really that you can add to this conversation, I'm going to honor Mr. Stokes' request to call the question.
Thank you.
And so we are going to call the question, Mr. Hartley. And I'm sorry. All right. All in favor of what is before us that has been amended 3 different times. We have gotten legal, we've heard your legal opinion, and I appreciate that,
I
Ms.
did
Martin,
have-
but we need to move on.
Okay,
We need to move on. We're going to, the question's been called. All in favor? Opposed? All right, it passes with a vote of 4-3. All right, is there absolutely anything